Joe Clement.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the show. Real Estate Talk on I-25 Talk Radio. KCBR Radio, 1040 AM on the dial. If you're just getting out of your car, you want to go to your computer and catch us, it's www.i25talk.co. If you want to call in today, it's 203-5908, 203-5908 with a real estate question. It's Real Estate Talk. And our number at the office is 540-HOME.
It's a good number.
Amy, are you here?
I'm here. Happy Friday, Joe.
Amy Lassen's with me, thank God. And she brought all the stats and all the stuff.
And coffee. I brought coffee.
And a cappuccino, non-fat. All right. Okay, so 540-HOME, which is 4663. 540-4663 is RE/MAX Properties. 4 locations to serve you. Tenderfoot Hill Street down south, downtown, and Chapel Hills Drive, 1740 Chapel Hills Drive, Monument, right there on 1761 Lake Woodmore Drive. So 4 wonderful offices, 210 fabulous broker associates ready to serve you 7 days a week. And right now would be a good time to call one of them because the interest rate's heading in the wrong direction.
Oh, my goodness. They jumped.
I don't know what happened. It was like we went on Memorial Day weekend break, and then we came back on Tuesday, and I don't know if was the Fed upset? Who was upset? The federal government? Somebody. I don't know what happened.
No.
But it bumped up a little.
It was inevitable. We knew this was coming.
Stay tuned because Chad Denny from Academy Mortgage is calling in at exactly 12:15.
Yep.
And he's going to tell us why and what's happening, and it's scary. We need them to calm down a little bit and stay low. So also later in the show we've got a fabulous guest today, Pam Keller from Keller Home.
Yay! I am so excited to have Pam on the show.
New construction, what's going on in the building world and what's happening with Keller Homes, and it's going to be fun. So stick with us, folks. We're going to have a great Friday, and it is the last day of May.
Oh my goodness,
Amy,
here we come.
What happened?
I don't know. We've been busy.
It seemed like it was January, and now it's June tomorrow. It's June.
Yeah.
And what happened to spring?
No, well, we kind of missed that. We skipped that one.
We skipped spring. We went right from winter to summer. Although it feels springy today. It's going to 70-something today. It's really
nice.
It's
going to be cool tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
Less windy.
Well, I'll try to golf anyway.
Are you?
I hope so.
I thought you were working tomorrow.
No. I've been working way too hard. Okay, so current active listings, just 3 or 4 weeks ago, we had 3144. This is single-family patio homes. And today, it's 3627. Up.
Yeah, it is up.
So the inventory's up. The 3627 is probably about 500 too many for right now, but it's seasonal.
Yeah.
All these people we've been telling to put their house on the market before everybody else does didn't, and now here they all are.
They all showed up at once.
500 of them just came out there in the last 3 weeks. Oh, well.
Well, but I think part of it is, Joe, that the homes aren't going under contract as quickly as they were a few weeks ago. Yeah. Because as we were discussing before we went on the air, graduation is important. End of the school year activities take a lot of people's attention, and that's appropriate.
Right now, families get busy, and they get distracted and don't want to hear about it.
So for those of you who have your home on the market and feel like no one will ever buy it, hang on. Yeah. June is coming.
Yeah, tomorrow is June, and things start changing. So in the next 90 days, we're going to sell a bunch of houses. So what's going on in the different price ranges? 0 to 250, 1556 active listings, and 3 weeks ago we had 1417. So a bunch of the homes that came on the market were in that 0 to 250 price range. Under contract, this is a little better. Three weeks ago we had 990, and today we have 1065 under contract in that price range. 250 to 500. A while back there, 3-4 weeks ago, it was 1115. Today it's 1507. So there's a chunk of the new active listings.
Yeah, that's right.
They're in that price range of 250 to 5. Under contracts, a few weeks back were 507, and today there's 669. So a little bit of action there. 500 to 750, 325 active, 81 under contract, and that number of actives a few weeks back was 275, and under contracts were 68. So some activity there. 750 to $1 million. We have 99 active listings. A few weeks back it was 83, so that has grown also. A few weeks back, it was 11 under contract. Now there's 15. And $1 million and above. 140 active. A few weeks back, it was 116. And then looks like a few weeks back we had 5 under contract. We still have 5 under contract.
Okay.
Well, I think a few of those closed, and there's a
we have new.
I hope. Anyway.
Well, looks like we're stocking up on inventory. Now we're ready to get out there and find some people ready to buy. They better do it quick.
Well, just in the last week, what sold, and I can tell you this, we had 173 sell in the MLS the last week, okay? The total sold for the year are 3975, and that's ahead of last year's pace.
Wow.
Yeah, because last year at this time, in 2012, May, we had 3605, and now we have 3975.
Wow.
So we're 370 ahead of a year ago.
It makes sense. I swear, second week in January this year, things just took off. This has been the year people were eager to buy.
And I love the interest rates. I know they help, but I think there's some underlying factors as well, like more people feel more confident with their jobs.
Yeah.
I hope. And things like that. That's what makes them to get out there and make that decision. Or helps them anyway.
And I think quite a few people were interested in investing in real estate. They were interested in being a homeowner, but they were waiting for the market to bottom out. And you and I both, 2 years ago, Joe, we warned people, you'll only know where the bottom was when you see it in your rearview mirror.
That's right.
And that's what's happened. It's obvious that last year was a great time to buy a house, and since you missed it, now would be the next best time.
This weekend would be good.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
Everybody out there needs to call a RE/MAX Properties agent this weekend at 540-HOME. And just say, I need a home. I need a home.
That's great.
Yeah. And the reason you need to do that this weekend is because these rates, I don't know what's going to happen.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
So I guess we have to wait and hear from Chad as to how high they are.
6 minutes.
Okay. All right. Counting down.
All right. You know what happened in the sold arena this last week? There was 173 of those that actually sold and closed. 0 to 250. There was 100 of those 173 were in that range.
Yeah.
0 to 250. And then 250 to 500, there were 63.
Okay.
All right. 500 to 750, there were 8. 750 to 999, there were 0.
Oh, but in a single week snapshot.
No.
Yeah.
Right. In $1 million and above, there were 2.
Wow.
Yeah, that closed. Yeah.
Well, on the previous week, none, and the week before that, none. So interesting week.
Yeah. So, that's not too bad as far as activity. Now, when we look back at April was a jamming month.
Yeah.
I told everybody on the show, the first part of May, that our April was the best under contract month we've had since 2006.
Wow.
We put 429 homes under contract in April. And that was a huge month for us as far as writing a contract, getting a house under contract.
Yeah.
In April, and it was the 429 was the best since 2006. Now, May, I don't have the stats yet because today's May 31st.
True.
But I anticipate it to be lower.
Okay.
Why? Graduation.
Yeah. Focus on your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the stuff. I mean, there's distractions. There's all kinds of things going on. We just went to a wedding last weekend. There's weddings. There's stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's stuff. But it's good stuff. Do we have Chad?
Yay!
He called in early.
I'm here.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Oh, boy, you're saving us, man.
Because I was just going to keep talking about him until he called.
Yeah, Chad Denny, Academy Mortgage. What in the world happened? Why did you raise the interest rates?
Was this Chad?
He sneezed, and that's what caused rates to move.
Bernanke's got a cold, and the whole world went flip over.
Actually, what happened? What they came out and said is they might be scaling back what they're buying in the way of mortgage-backed securities. So with that word that they might be changing that, that's what's caused the markets to move.
So they might be changing something, so everybody goes goofy. I thought the Treasury bills went up as well or something. Did that happen?
It did, because a part of their program they have going on right now is called QE3. So they're buying a month $85 billion worth of mortgage-backed securities and Treasury bonds, and that's what directly reflects on interest rates.
Okay.
So if they were to end that program, then rates would truly go back to the market. not without having that government influence on the market.
I see.
And so that's why you saw interest rates rise. And again, on our conventional loans,
yes,
we went from 3.75 to now most of those what we're seeing is about 4.125.
What?
30-year fixed.
We broke into the fours?
We broke into the fours.
Come on, man.
Government loans, FHA and VA,
yeah,
are still hanging back a little bit, so they're still in the threes.
Okay.
So a great opportunity there. And again, rates are still fantastic.
Oh, of course.
In the low fours, but they're not what we were a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And again, I think for anybody that's listening who's thinking about buying a house,
now's the time.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
What we know is right now these are where the rates are, and rates are still fantastic.
It's true.
In those low fours, under 4 for a government loan.
So you're not going to predict and say next week they're all going to be back in the threes again because you don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But if you look at most of the research and most of the data that's coming out from this, they're expecting rates to probably increase.
Yeah, well, they've been saying that for 2 years.
Right.
And now when it starts to happen, everybody's going, no, they'll come back down next week. Well, maybe not.
I think it's going to be hard for them to come back down. What we're recommending to most of our clients is that are under contract, right, lock the rate.
Mm-hmm.
Because the pressure to go up is still higher than to come down. And again, just like when we saw this, he said, we may stop this program. Rates jumped really overnight. And that's very typical of an interest rate going up. They'll go up quickly. They come down slowly.
Yes, that's right. And it was strange how it happened, though. It was like we had Memorial Day weekend. Monday was Memorial Day. Everybody, had a great day off, and of course there was a lot of celebrations on respecting our military and those that died in service and all that. It was a great Memorial Day, and then we come in Tuesday and the rates go up. What? Why was it? Like the barbecue was not, what was it? I mean,
actually, most of it happened on Thursday the week before.
See, I wasn't paying attention. I was already checking out.
and then Friday is really where. So Thursday spoke. Friday is where we really saw that movement in the rates.
Okay.
And then followed up with again the barbecue didn't go as well, so it was a little bit higher.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was happening because we were taking off to go to a wedding up in Vail, and we, went, and I was like focused on the beauty of the mountains. I didn't even pay attention to what was happening late Friday afternoon. I was just trying to stay out of the traffic jams in the morning. It actually wasn't too bad. But okay, Chad, so what I just said a little while ago was exactly what we need to have happen is people that are considering buying, that have been on the fence, kind of thinking about it, they need to call 540-HOME, 540-4663, and get with a RE/MAX Properties agent and sit down with Academy Mortgage and get pre-qualified and get out there and start looking at some homes because, it's sliding in the wrong direction.
Absolutely. And again, if you look historically, these rates are still historically low.
Well, you used to have a chart that showed the 30-year look at rates, and I think your chart showed that the average for the 30 years was 7.5. Is that right?
Yeah, right in there. And it probably has come down over the last year just a hair, maybe in that 7.25 range.
Yeah, because of what we've had at 3.5 and so forth, pulled that average down. But still, over the years, 7 or so was good. That's kind of the norm, and now so we're at 4 or 7 and 4 or 3 3/4 or whatever for a government loan. My word, that's way below the 7 type average, or 7.5 or 7.25. Correct?
Absolutely, and that's I think the key message is take advantage of them before we become average again.
Yeah. Can you wait till 2016? 15.
I feel like we're playing the same game we played with prices, wondering where's the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
When will interest rates go up? You just don't know. And by the time you figured it out, oops, it's 6.5 and you missed 4.
Yeah, ooh, that wouldn't be good.
And 6.5 was a great rate, Chad, right? I remember when 6.5 was awesome.
Yeah.
I remember it was a refinance boom that we went through at the first one I went through was when rates got to 9 because we got out of double digits and everybody was so excited.
Yeah, I remember that.
Versus, again, when we saw the rates at 6 and 5, we thought, how could they go any lower? And they did.
Yep.
Boy,
and again, so I really think, though, that we have seen that bottom, and it's working its way up just like we did with the house prices. We saw that bottom, 8 months ago, a year ago, and now you're starting to see that strength in there. And that's one of the reasons that you could see those rates take up is that strength in the overall economy right now.
Well, that's certainly true. One of the things that we need to point out to our listeners, if you're thinking about buying, here's what happens when the rate goes up. Your house shrinks. Your house gets smaller.
Oh, per dollar.
Well, you have a job, you have income, you qualify. You qualify for a payment. Well, the payment at 3.5 is less than it will be at 4.5.
That's right.
So you end up with affording a lesser payment, which means you can't buy $250, you have to buy $220 or something like that. Isn't that right, Chad?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so the house starts to shrink. So before your house shrinks, get out there and buy.
Yep.
Isn't that the message?
Absolutely.
That's what I thought.
That is, take advantage of them because they're still great. Because we don't know how long they're going to stay this great.
And Joe, Chad has told us in past calls about all the wonderful programs that there are available that we haven't even covered today. So if anybody wanted to reach Chad, they could also call the 540 home number and reach Chad and get advice about loan programs.
Yeah, well, Chad or any of our 4 loan originators from Academy Mortgage who housed office in RE/MAX Properties offices. And we have Toby Mondejar, we have Debbie Havens, we have Rose Kelly, and we have Chad Denny. And you can call that 540-HOME and ask for one of the Academy Mortgage people and get pre-qualified, get qualified, grab a RE/MAX Properties agent, and get out and buy a house.
Heck yeah.
Right, Chad?
Absolutely, and there's some great programs out there right now to help you get into those homes.
Yeah. Yep, wonderful.
All right, you were great calling in right on time. Actually, you were early, so that's really helping us. We're going to have more time for Pam Keller, so we're going to take a little break. Chad, thanks for calling in, buddy.
All right, thanks, Joe.
We'll see you soon. Thanks for the sickening news. No, just kidding.
It's still good. It's still good.
All right. This is KCBR Radio, 1040 AM on the dial. Real Estate on I-25 Talk Radio with Joe Clement, sponsored by RE/MAX Properties. We'll be right back. And we are back. This is Real Estate Talk on I-25 Talk Radio. I am Joe Clement, and this is sponsored by RE/MAX Properties, Inc. 4 locations, 210 agents ready to go to work for you, buying, selling, anything you need in real estate. We do have property management. We do have commercial. We have relocation. We can help you hook up with a RE/MAX agent in 91 countries now. We have just gone into China last year.
Yeah. My goodness.
We're in China. So if you're moving to China, you need a RE/MAX agent,
give us a call.
Give us a call. We've got one. We've got one for you. One of the things I didn't mention is, if you want to start your search because you're going to get out there and get a home, go to homescolorado.com. That's another way to do it. If you just want to sit around the house this weekend and not go out and look, you can go online to www.homescolorado.com. Not only do we have the 700 active single-family listings that we have at RE/MAX Properties, but you got the whole 3,600.
They're all there.
Of MLS. The whole mobile listing service is there.
Everything. Search by map.
homescolorado.com by map. It's very cool, and you will love that website. So, with us today is a special guest, a special friend, a special person that we have done business with for over 25 years, and she is the leader. I know her husband Dave has a little bit to do with it, but she's the one that really leads this company. Welcome to the show, Pam Keller, Keller Homes.
Good afternoon, Joe. What a beautiful Friday, and thanks for inviting us.
Isn't it great? 70 degrees, really nice, a little breeze out there, but it's a beautiful sunny day in Colorado Springs. Well, Pam, you have been just doing a great job with Keller Homes over the years. I've always admired how you've handled your company. And we've always at RE/MAX Properties loved to bring a buyer that we're working with to you all because you take such good care of the people.
Thank you, Joe. That's our goal, and after 30 years, this is our 30th anniversary this year, and I think our experience has paid off and helped us weather the storm and enjoying the upturn we're all seeing in the market now.
Well, speaking of that, the state of new construction in this economy, growing and improving, give the folks your perspective as to why. What do you think?
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons why we're seeing an increase in the market here in Colorado Springs. The first one is we've seen a huge absorption of any foreclosed homes that are out there. The selection is low, and it's caused people to look in other directions. Lack of inventory in the resale market, which you mentioned, is up a little bit, but it is not up a lot. And so the selection isn't what it used to be, and while that opportunity is there, it does give people a chance to price and compare and neighborhoods and locations and so forth.
Right.
I think another big thing that we have seen is a very low apartment vacancy rate and high rents. And so people are saying this is a great opportunity with the interest rates you were speaking of earlier, and they can almost buy a home for the same price as they are renting and be able to do what they want. I have to laugh because you and I have been at this a while.
Yes, ma'am.
My first house was at 8.5%.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a fantastic rate at that time, and we would never see anything lower. So 4% and 5% even sounds fantastic and a good time to be buying a home. So we see that. People want to buy new. Houses are, new things are happening and new things are coming about, and they want to buy new.
Yes.
So those are, just some of the ones that kind of come top of mind to me.
I think you're right on target with all that. I mean, I wasn't thinking about that low apartment vacancy rate and high rental rates. That does affect resale and new construction. So that's a good one.
It absolutely does, because not only do people feel like they can buy a home rather than rent, but investors see opportunities. So we're seeing it for both.
Yeah.
That's right. It's a good place to be able to put your money right now.
Yep.
So the reasons why people buy new homes haven't changed or waived too much. Why don't you go through the list?
Well, I think they haven't changed, and people have been waiting. And I think you're absolutely right, Amy. One of the things is now is the time, if you don't want to look back in the rearview mirror, but things have happened. People have been sitting on the fence, and now there are still first-time buyers in the market. There are people that want to move up, that need more space, growing families. We are seeing many families that their kids have graduated, and, of course, having built here for so long and so many years, some of those people that have purchased from us in the past, their kids have grown, go to college, and they're moving down, and they want to stay in the community, in areas and neighborhoods where they're used to living. So we're seeing a lot of that. Empty nesters. Second home buyers have been a big market, and maybe they aren't buying as large of a home, but they want a home in two locations, maybe here and maybe some other place.
Someplace
so
warmer or something.
Well, it's pretty warm here, Joe. It's pretty nice.
That's in the next 90 days.
I mean, you should stop complaining.
I'm not complaining.
This is God's country right here in Colorado. You do know that.
I do know people that have another home in Scottsdale or Palm Desert or someplace.
Oh, that's because they want to golf. But they aren't going to be there in the summer, let's be honest.
That's true.
Right?
They're here going to the grandchildren's Little League games and soccer games and things. You're absolutely right.
Another, Joe, surprising trend that we've seen is a lot of combining families living in a household together and helping each other. And that's been very interesting and a lot of fun to work with those folks, as well as people that we're still seeing relocation buyers and lots of military families.
Exactly. So are we. That's all. You're right on target with this. So any changes, including the cost increase due to materials? I hear that lumber has really kind of bounced up a little bit. Is that true?
Lumber is somewhat seasonal, and it has bounced up, but I would expect that it's leveling off right now from what we're hearing. Whether it will go back and we'll see other spikes, it's unpredictable. But we are experiencing some costs in material and labor, and everybody is certainly seeing an increase in volume, as we've heard all over the news in the last year. So you can expect increases in material and labor as we move forward.
Check me if I'm wrong, but I think one of the things that has happened over this last 6 years is the cost of land kind of dipped down a little bit. So maybe to make up for, in the new construction world, to make up for the fact that the materials are going up a little bit, but the land cost are a little more conservative than they were, say, in 205 or something, where the prices were just up on land. Do you see your lot costs a little more friendly than they were back in the heydays?
I think that has happened over the last 2 to 3 years, and we're probably at the very bottom of that opportunity today. I would like to tell you that's not the case, but to build or to develop a new lot is expensive. So what we are purchasing new, the prices are going back up. We're definitely seeing that, and we are doing several new subdivisions right now.
So with the interest rates going up or bumped up this week, and the cost of building seems like it's going to inch up a little bit because of all these things we're talking about. Like I said earlier, go out and buy a house this weekend.
This weekend would be a good idea now that we've done the graduations and the barbecues and the banquets.
Let's go. Let's get out there, because at RE/MAX Properties, we've got 210 people ready to help you as a buyer agent and go through this process and then go full circle, look at all the resales, and then come over and have your agent take you to Keller Home. So talk about the communities that you all are involved with now, and where your price points are, and where these wonderful subdivisions are.
Oh, thank you, Joe. I'd love to. We build in a neighborhood called Kimber Vista. It's a master plan community at Powers and Woodman, and it's an easy commute north or south, I-25. We see lots of families there that are working at Schriever, and even Fort Carson that come up to Kimber Vista. It is an easy commute. It's convenient to the new Penrose St. Francis Hospital.
It's right across the street.
Yeah, it is, and it's really not brand new anymore. It's up and running and full facility hospital, which is nice.
Yeah.
District 20 schools. It's convenient to build sports and shopping and dining and
for sure.
Neat amenities there. We have 2 different types of homes there. We have a traditional single family in the horizon from the 280s to the 340s.
Oh, nice.
8 floor plans, easy to care exterior, stucco is standard, for instance. Basement finishes are included in the ranch style plans there. Landscaping is included in Horizon, but still a very traditional single family location. Haven is single family, but low maintenance homes, priced from the 260s to the 310s. Again, we're seeing a lot of those families that say, I want to have a second home, I don't want to maintain, I don't want to do the yard work, I don't want to mow, I want to have fun like we do here in Colorado, ski, golf, biking, hiking, keeping in good shape, healthy community that we are. Those, of course, are landscaped if you're not interested in doing all of that. It's landscaped, it's maintained, trash and snow removal. Not that we have much snow, Joe, not much. We kind of like to think of those customers as the people that like to move in and have fun. They have toys and things they want to do, and they're fun. People that are commuters could be single parents, second-time homeowners that are not here all year. And believe it or not, we have families because not everybody is interested in doing yard work. We also build in another community north on Powers called Cordera. That's pretty neat development for us because we have been working with the developers there since, I'm almost embarrassed to say it, 1987. They did Briargate. They did Pine Creek. They are very well known for master plan community that brings a lot of character to their neighborhoods and desirable locations. Cordera is the newest of their communities. It's located at Briargate Parkway and Powers. Easy commutes. Again, the shops at Briargate Memorial Hospital, which I think everybody is very familiar with that.
The new one.
The new one, right. Pine Creek Golf Course for you, Joe.
No,
just around the corner.
I love that course.
That course it's a little tight there. You can.
I've never hit a house there yet, but
oh sure,
I could. No, you know what? But for a public course, it's a beautiful public course. I mean, it's one of the nicest public courses in the state.
It really is, and it's challenging.
It's challenging,
at least for me.
It is for everybody, I think. And
I'm a terrible golfer, so that might have something to do with it. I'm not sure. But Lifetime Fitness, and for members of the YMCA is right there, close by, just as beautiful as it was when it was built, and we were fortunate to be a part of that. The people in Cordera also have the opportunity to enjoy, if they're a resident there, their community center and facilities there, fitness. And I just, in fact, had a banquet there for my son's swim team, and they did an outstanding job, and the Y supported that and helped us with it. D20 schools, they have a school in the neighborhood that's K through 5. They will be growing that to a K-8 school, so very family-oriented, lots of parks and trails and walking within the neighborhood. So, again, very, very neat community.
What kind of price points do you have going on out in Cordera? We
have 2 neighborhoods there at this time, and we have pretty much maintained 2 different communities in Cordera since we started and since it opened. 320s to the 350s, 9 varieties of floor plans there, and that is called Cordera Pass. And we have a new neighborhood opening this month, actually. Okay, June. This is May. It's going to be in June. Brand new homes and home sites there, larger floor plans, priced from the 350s to the 390s. So for all those folks that are in that hot price segment that you talked about that's really moving, this is where they're moving up to, and we're seeing lots of activity as far as that goes, and great opportunity.
Castlewood Canyon?
That is the name of it, Castlewood Canyon.
Sounds good.
And I have to share with you, Joe, I'm very excited that we are under construction with the new model home that will open in August with Parade of Homes, and we're going to show everything under the sun that we possibly can to let people know that the construction industry is not asleep at the wheel. We have lots of new product, new features, new amenities, you name it, tile, cabinets, laundry, use of spaces, and color of the year. I bet you didn't know this. What is the color of the year, Joe?
Lime green.
You know, I like that because that's pretty close to my company color, but this year the color of the year is emerald.
Oh.
Emerald. And it is stunning, and we will be doing some demonstration of that. The look is fresh and clean, and you've got to come out and see it. I'm not going to tell you any more. That's all you get.
Intriguing.
When is the Parade of Homes?
Parade of Homes, you're going to ask me for a date, aren't you? It's in August. Let's say August 3rd. It might be the 4th.
Okay.
And it's for 3 weekends, and come out, and there'll be lots of participation.
I think this will be the best Parade of Homes we've had in the last few years because it was tough during the recession to put on a cool Parade of Homes.
When things were declining, it was
just difficult to get a whole bunch of new construction going for the parade. I mean, it was just not easy. But now, with the excitement that's going on in building right now, I think it's going to be a great parade.
It's going to be fun and lots of new products and finishes and design to see.
Nice.
I want to back up before we move away from Cordera because I know you have other communities.
Sure.
But I wanted to ask a little bit more about Cumbre Vista and Cordera because I know that in Cordera you have privacy fencing allowed. Do you have that in Cumbre Vista?
In Horizon we do. Okay. In Haven, we have no fencing because it is a low-maintenance community, and, of course, they need to mow between the homes, and it allows for a lot of open space, so people really love it. And there is actually a small section of Haven that allows fencing as well.
So then
for people with pets or...
When I come to Cordera then to buy a home, because you talked about landscaping and basements and what's included in Cumbre Vista, so at Cordera, would the fencing be included? Would landscaping be included?
It would depend on the location in Cordera, and again, not everybody wants a fence, so you have to look at that, and it depends on the location in Cordera. Sometimes they do have some covenants that allow for split rail fencing, but not perimeter yard fencing. It's subject to where you are. But for the most part, yes, you can do fencing, and it may or may not be included for us in a closeout neighborhood. We might have fencing, we might have landscaping, and those types of things change as we change and we have different neighborhoods coming on.
All right, so I want to hear more about your higher-end communities when we come back from break. So stay tuned, everybody. It's Pam Keller from Keller Homes, right here on Real Estate Talk on I-25 Talk Radio. I am Joe Clement. This program is sponsored by RE/MAX Properties. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. And we are back. Real Estate on I-25 Talk Radio. Joe Clement here. My guest, Pam Keller, Keller Homes. and we're buzzing through some really great info on.
Well, I have a
Keller
ton of
Homes.
questions, so you guys have to tell me when I have to just bide my time.
Amy, I thought you left. Oh, no, she's still here, and she's got a ton. So
I always have questions.
we'll go start.
Well, we were talking about lumber prices earlier, and so that really did make me think, if I write a contract next week, and we can talk about the standing inventory you have. I'm sure you have homes that are available to buy right now, but let's say I choose a floor plan that's not currently built. How long is that going to take to get built?
Well, it depends on what you buy and the selections that you make, but based on when you start or when you write your contract, or actually I should say when we actually start digging the hole, 120 days.
Okay, so maybe, 3 or 4 months?
Yeah.
So 3 or 4 months.
And
I
Chad
have
can
my
lock
home.
your interest rate and guarantee that.
Oh, thank heavens. That's kind of a long lock. We'll have to ask Chad about that.
I bet he can do.
But, so we go under contract at whatever price. If lumber goes up in the next 4 months while you're building my home, does the price of my house go up?
No, once you've written your contract, I'm able to secure my pricing with my contractor.
Oh.
So your price is also guaranteed. But until you write your contract, I'm subject to those price and fluctuations.
True. That's true. So as soon as we lock that in and we've agreed to purchase, the value of my home is going up, but not the cost to me.
That's correct.
So 4 months from now, I will close at the contract price.
See, not all builders do it that way. That's a cool way to do it, though. You lock in, boom, done, you know your price. I like it.
It's peace of mind.
Well, the buyer needs that. I mean, and as a buyer agent, I would want that for my buyer, to know that we're not going to see increases if lumber goes up.
So what about standing inventory? Do you have many homes that are available that I could just run out and buy one this weekend?
Amy, we do have homes available in all of our locations, and they may be under various stages of construction. What we are finding is where a year ago we might complete a home and have a month or 45 days before it sells. Today they're selling while they're under construction.
Oh, my.
So they are moving much more quickly than they were.
Okay.
Yeah. But there is inventory to look at in all locations.
Okay, great.
So let's step up the ladder a little bit on price and tell us, we've talked about the high 2s to high 3s. Now, you've got some other products that are a little bit higher than that and quite a bit nicer. Just give us a little quick snapshot.
Well, every customer, regardless of price, Joe, I have to tell you, they receive the same service,
the
same amenities and so forth as far as working with our design studio and color selections and really can personalize their home. But you're talking about La Belleza, which is my favorite community. It's Italian-inspired and very unique to Colorado Springs. We build those in 2 locations in Pine Creek, up on the hill where you can see the beautiful view of Pikes Peak, and at the foothills in Peregrine where you get to enjoy being at the foothills on the base of the mountain. So really nice, and it's a great community. Again, low maintenance if you don't want to do the yard work, but you still do own the individual homes, and you have to just come out and see them.
Well, I've always loved those 2 projects, not because I'm biased to Italian, but I just...
Really?
I
didn't tell you this, but you inspired us.
See, well, I tried to tell you that this product would work.
And it did.
And it did. And I love seeing it and selling it. It's just a great product. Both sites are wonderful. And so where are you now? Mid-5, 6? Where are you in those?
Mid-5s to mid-6s.
Great. Okay, good. Now what about Mountain Shadows? You doing anything up there?
We are. We started, of course, we built homes in Mountain Shadows, in the original Mountain Shadows. And I'm excited that we're part of the rebuilding efforts because I think it will come back faster, stronger, and as beautiful as it ever was. We're building in all 3 different kind of categories, if you want to call it, Parkside and traditional single family. That, in fact, was one of our first calls, was rebuilding one of the homes we built back 20 years ago.
Great.
And that was a beautiful experience and wonderful family. And, of course, we have done some custom right from scratch.
Oh, nice.
And that's pretty exciting as well. So it's good, and the community is looking fantastic, and the resilience of the neighbors and that community has really warmed my heart.
Oh, it's neat. I drove through it a couple of weeks ago, and it's exciting to see the resurgence. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Yeah,
it really is.
Cool. I think there's 80 homes under construction or something like that. 75.
Quite a few.
Some number. Okay, so Any incentives going on right now for the community to know about with Keller Homes?
Well, when you look at incentives, I would tell you that is an incentive, or is it really just included in the price? At any given time, it could be something that is always offered. Right now, we are, for people and customers that come out and do what we call a test drive, if they end up buying a Keller home, we will include a sound system called a Sonos system in their home, but we want to have that opportunity to tell them what's different about us and what we do different. So our sales staff will be there and are happy to do that. They can call in and set an appointment or go on our website and do that as well. Of course, we also, like most builders, offer $2,500 in finance incentives on to use to pay for those closing costs, and hopefully that helps a little bit on the financing end of it. And as Amy mentioned, when we're nearing completion of a neighborhood, a lot of times we will include landscaping, and we have a couple of those out there right now as well.
Super. So I want to jump into something about choosing a builder as a buyer agent, working with buyers over the years and bringing them to different builders and checking out the resale and then ending up wanting to check out the new construction before they make a decision. You get involved with a couple things as a buyer agent. One, you really want to see your buyer get a quality home in a great location, because we always think resale when we're selling a house. We know these folks we're working with are going to resell it someday.
Right.
And if it's not them, it's their heirs. Somebody's going to sell this house again because they're not going to stay there forever and ever and ever. So resale is a huge issue. So over the years, I've watched your quality. I've watched your floor plans. I've watched how you handle people. And so for me, as an individual agent, bringing people out there, I always enjoy working with Keller Homes and walking them through a Keller and seeing how they like it. Because if they like it, the experience is going to be excellent. And the reason I say that is about 3-4 years ago, whenever it was that you started this process, and this is how this works, folks. When you're finishing a home, you're getting ready to go to closing, you do what you call a walkthrough. And that's the walkthrough with the builder representative there, putting little blue stickers on all these little dots and things and bumps and bruises and, scratches or whatever might be there that they have to fix and, make it right before you close. So here's what Pam Keller did. First time I ever saw it anywhere, and I've been in this a long time, is the builder representative was there, my buyers are there, I'm there, and there were these two people in bib overalls standing in the background. And we got through looking at the kitchen, and there were blue dots, not everywhere, but there were several blue dots. There were some things that needed to be touched up. And we walked out of the kitchen into the dining area to do the dining room next. And I looked over my shoulder, and here comes the two people in bib overalls into the kitchen, and they are fixing every blue dot as we're in the next room. And then we went to the next room, and then they fixed those. And by the time we got done with the process, 20 minutes later, all the blue dots were gone and everything was fixed. And the concept is you do the walkthrough at 10, you do the closing at 3. If there happens to be a plumber or electrician that's needed, you get those guys back in there between 11 and 3. And by 3 o'clock, when they close that transaction, everything's perfect.
Well, thank you for that.
I love that. That is so cool. I don't know why everybody doesn't do that.
We do everything that we can to, if we don't have to order something.
Well, of course, yeah.
And it is a product made by human beings, so sometimes we do. Yeah. But we make every effort to do our own quality control, just like when you buy a new car, you should be able to buy a new house and move in and worry about your furniture and your family and your kids and not subcontractors all over the place. So that is our goal. Thank you for that.
Moving is a stressful time. When you move into a new construction, the last thing you want to be doing as you're, unboxing things is to have to worry about, the fixer guy from the new construction company is coming to fix the window that's not closing right or whatever. You want the window, you want to move in and put your stuff away and not have to worry about the window not closing right.
Well, I have to tell you, Joe, that the person that does that now in our company is a quality manager, and it's a female, and she is a stickler.
I love it.
She is so good, and she goes in ahead of the customer and looks for those things. We like the customer to learn about their house and how things work and
on the
what
walkthrough.
On
the walkthrough, that's part of the process. So spending time on little blue dots is not what it the total focus is.
We hope not.
No,
we hope we can.
But just the way you handle it, where normally what I have been through before with many, many builders is you're making this punch list. They're putting blue dots up, and you're writing on a yellow pad. You got 3 pages of yellow pad notes of all these things that we got to come back and check to see if they did.
Yeah, let's
a few
not
days
do
later.
that. Let's have a happy moving day.
Oh gosh, stressful. Or nobody's happy. Closings are delayed because there's such a list.
Not Chad's closings.
No.
Well, if there's blue tape.
Yeah, well, not Keller Home's closings, because you walk through at 10, you close at 3. End of story. And if it's not done, then Pam is really not fun to work with, I'm sure.
Thanks, Joe.
He's going to be all over.
I pass that to my husband.
All right. David's going to be all over you. Or somebody. Going to be all over somebody. So, tell us other thing. Now, I think that's a great thing that Keller has. But what else? Just give us a snapshot of some of the other things that separate you all.
Well, I think the biggest thing is way back when we decided that customers needed to put their own personality and their own mark on their home, and we had the first design studio in Colorado Springs, and it's a huge point of difference for us. We will only meet with one customer at a time there, and we have them meet with a design specialist and help them work with that color selection. I think people are intimidated by that process, and how do I go about it? And they can bring in their swatches from their furniture that they currently have and look for some advice. We always go out and look for new product for them, and that's affordable and going to be durable, and we explain to them how to maintain it and help them make those choices, because that's probably the hardest thing is they're worried about it, but it's not hard for us, and we know that we can get them from A to B to Z. And today it's kind of exciting too, because they meet with the electrician, because what can't you do in a resale? No offense, Joe, I know you sell a lot of resale houses, but in
two different animals,
in a new construction, you can put that phone jack where you want it, or have that cable TV, or how about all those flat screens, and where are you going to put them? And so we have a meet with the low voltage people and get what they want.
Can I have Christmas tree outlets all the way around my eaves?
Absolutely.
I mean, Christmas lights.
I do at my house. I understand why you're asking for that.
Okay.
Yep. It's important. That the devil's in the details, isn't it? Those things that you remember, and if you can remember them, they're probably not that expensive, an extra outlet.
So here's a testimonial. Guess who built their house with Pam? Not me, but guess.
Oh, I know who.
Tony Clement.
Tony did.
And Brooke Clement.
And they are the sweetest.
And they love you.
And
guys.
those grandchildren.
Yes.
You're lucky.
You've made them a nice home, and it's a beautiful home. And you know what? They love the process. They were impressed with the process. They raved about the process. And, of course, before they signed the paper, what do you think, Dad? I said, just sign it. You'll be fine. And if you're not, I'll call Pam personally. No, I didn't.
I didn't get a call.
You did not get a call. No. Yeah, I didn't need to call you at once. No. Other than tell you, great job. Thanks for taking care of the kids.
It was fun, and thank you for sending them there. They are great kids.
Thank you. Well, and now we have one other thing going on. Can I talk about it on the air?
It depends. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, our top producer in our whole company, solo, not team, but top producer, is building with them.
Oh, that's true.
Vicki?
Yeah, she's fun too.
Yeah, so
her house is coming along, and she has done. She should be having some Remax parties.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see it. But that's a testimonial to you. I mean, Vicki sells a ton of houses. She knows all the builders. She does a great job. She's been in the business for years and years and years. And who did she choose to build with? Keller Home.
Well, thank you. And she's been fun. And she brings us customers, and she's a pro. I mean, she's just a pro.
And that's why I'm sure she chose you, is because she was very comfortable with the way you handle her customers.
You know, Joe, another testimonial, the property we've talked about over and over on the show in the last few months, the home in Pine Creek, that every single time we went out there, we guessed higher. And we ended up listing it higher than we thought. We ended up selling it for more than that, and it was a Keller resale.
Yes, that's right.
In Pine Creek.
We told them $395 in December, and then we sold it in late February for $420, and it was on the market for $415. We had 2 offers.
Yeah,
that's
but
fantastic.
It was a Keller resale that was sharp as a button.
Holds its value, increases in value over time. Quality.
Floor plan was awesome. The people bought it, love it.
Yep.
Yeah, unbelievable. Well, our guest today, special guest today, Pam Keller from Keller Homes. One of the top builders in this city, ladies and gentlemen. But before you run out there, you got to look at resale too. So
you got to shop and compare.
You got to shop and compare. So it's 540-HOME, 540-4660, or go to homescolorado.com. That's RE/MAX Properties, 4 locations. RE/MAX Properties, Inc. That's us. This is your host, Joe Clement, my sidekick, Amy Lassen. We're going to come back next week, and it'll be June.
That's right.
It's going to be June next Friday.
Yep.
Actually, tomorrow.
Summer.
Summer's finally here. So this is KCBR Radio, 1040 a.m. on the dial. Thanks for listening. See you next week.